Abusuan conflict of interest bi akoso. Ni nyina efa the takeover of diamond mines by engineers and planners eno eye owned by Mampanyi ni nua Ibrahim Mahama. Na enti a yetie ene se sa takeover we the enti a omo unfollow the due process said ye nipa dodo na eka no se nsem no mo enwu ye rem ama nei minority kra a petition strike so omo hwehwe nsem no mu no nsem a ekoso no de ano no ayedin papa enya asem ketwa na ntia a eboboba na ye titi ni se some allocation has been made to the president ono ebe benefit directly from the takeover akoni nua no ho na enya nwanwa because unua ena take over a whole mining sector okoye ho adwuma dia se oji percentage bi a enwanwa na abusua chewadwen na yenje bre ni yenkotie nsem no mu nkyeremu nsem a ekoso no yenso yenche yadwen efa ho se the right decision ena president ateki ya na sa asem we enka esiabra na Akufo-Addo Ghana Mampanyi na nke bia odi contract bi sa akoma chema untumi anase gabi ochire da ko a enka dien ena ebesie dien ena nka Ghana fo beka abusuan gibre enkotie nsem no mu nkyeremu so bomodin se subscribe to the channel na obe subscribe na wabeka Ashanti Media
sana akosi bruni ye be pamna mele free krum ha ko kuro no ansan ye be independence no na mine ni nyina she adia bruni be fa the British Crown and sa na we Ghana ni a it was completely illegal so kura benya concession na satam crowns na small scale crowns so yem pete on be small scale and satam na British Crown and na British Crown they were working with private European companies. And then the government also had kind of a joint investment. Now, the entire history of the Tama Yapama Brunino, Yapapa Kwame Nkrumah, Nayana Nkrumah, Republicans, and at that point, some of the mines were taken from the British Crown, and some of them were given to other private investors, others were nationalized as well. And Titama Soja Bamba, converted most of the mines, if not all, into the national or the country owning those particular mines. And that time, no, not just say Ghana buying and managing those mines. Now, assembly in Tanzania, Anglo Good. Now, me call Yena. Omo catchem say Ghana for the see data gold mines you. Now I was so proud and I could see Ghanaian hands in there. Now a free one no and na tema ye bane ye ya na ye ho kire after all it's about 1980s no na structural adjustment program ba no say some privatizing most of the mines. It sounds say the management of the mines were not very efficient. In the history a whole start here privatizing almost all the mines I can say near buying keep only 10% equity interest each mine. In the history, sa akwasi Brunei be manage oko Ghana buying source no ye will be. Na tema da mine de any buy no. According to a law no any contract no. Say mine because or qua in Pempi no the mine resort back to the government because yasase and a wood to go to be like as a assassin ba buying ho. Na me no me de so almost my bano more qua and yet the yamiase. The mum de ni say go do a word that mind ye and sign ye. Na essence say na go fields or decided that say and ya dia sap a particular property and answer resource no. And yeah, they could not do further exploration to sustain the mine. And you better already like I said, wait dear, I better have ya. And think I am see a beer onimdi na our experience at their managed mines here. Name which my sounds what. This aban no send a quite of fast no me kwabnade na ye me de if we say na what about the manage mines no enti empempe no kodwe hwe ne se o bibi na amount 2000 Ghana a month now ka so pese o sisa de o pe 2000 na ma wa ye nkonkofo obi obema 1000 Ghana enti ameka sa asem we no when you are changing hands in an existing mines you don't go worse off but what the make an say
but whilst you're talking to us, so wait me check a video no I think your camera is
me drive unti ama me United soon na manson
that's fair
and you don't get worse off so the underlying objective also bind the ko we mu ni say me probi obeba enya afi no obeka say ni be sua say ni etiti board enya afi no obeka say ni nye bida enya afi no obeka say maye bi so me ye nfiem you pe because the man honum ni yatunu more than 15 years I'm very sure and nya afi me be probi afi no obi sua say ni etiti board no enti or the to ho say these are the criteria yepe adia ba ko a meka say bia entwa yi ene say esanse eye japadia esi nesi tentino nanka wo say yetu yeboa eye me say e contem dodo enti me say da braban publish say obey competitive bidding no me sure say do 3 weeks impo and all of a sudden yetimanya ebetuma ba say na committee a me amadam for Iroko da or your legal unit secretary no na ebia omo a prepare atu a demo and they had to work faster all night and all day and ebia no so betuma esa it can point to adia akwasi broni for efficiency. The criteria was very clear. We are happy it went to competitive bidding. The question is, what is the strategy of the government? What does government want to get out of this? We need to see the contract that will be signed between us and the particular company EMP our winning. So ubu say companies apply EMP dia manu no eye ne kwan no ana dia minim makoda man hoda my research into metako mines no dia minim ne say EMP na to gold ni ma gold fields for some years now. You can say EMP a contract miner and it's a kojui. You probably be pitch. But I want to mean money and abra unto amana. And you two amana kete kraka EMP ne two samana no. We are as a sa a dear friend gold or free amana anano. Eddie ababa bia the mine for processing plant in the world, which is where the mine is. And on ISR hauling and mining, including going deeper into the pit, ama a gold fields. Now EMPs, you gold fields in Kwan or mining more or mining other companies. And to our experience in the mining. Name it is not just the experience in mining. It's unsaid. Yanko Paul Utredian Pombard, you know. Wobo Bebia Sasrebo said the operated so Bebia Ankone Adia Bruni friend geological formation. And the Upobia or the geology of the area. It's as a mining no, it's a geologist soon. Two mining companies are geologists debris. When you be our tisa geology nasi. It's so no na mining or it was not to be said it is likely so nebinya. If we say so okay, cancer criteria when you now boom. Now the engineers and planners may be ahead of all other applicants who applied. And to make up another and yaman so engineers and planners and are winning. Name the angler a yaman for bet me a busa and say the engineers and planners yanit the papa bra Ibrahim Mahama or near any president ya what you see. And until never man acquires and now say president influence kwanya ye fashion from company na. The last side American was say engineers and planner a Ghana company. In Canada Ghana company no, it is important me say ye be kase Senye Ghana company mpo Ghana for na manage ko ju mpacha ma men kasa asem wonkyerɛw.
Okay.
Anko Gold ni enkofo mu ho nyina any gold fields ni companies ni nyina ni mont no nyina no. Yes. Obekɔ mines ni nyina no Ghana ni na da no a o manage die. Na emum se back critical decision making a. If I tell you something, back critical decision making a. Sa Ghana ni na o da no okoje advice any decision in free headquarters, which largely outside of the country. Okay. And a bad decision making, I'm a patcho, decision making for an strategy for the company and a bad dominating, not the strategy for the country. Okay. All right. That is number one for a businessman. Okay. And here number one. The last point, say, was it something that ABA, because Niniani president in T, engineers and planners have gone across multiple governments in this country. Mm-hmm. They've been operating, and I have also been working in Liberia, and I know engineers and planners are mining for companies in Liberia as well. They've operated beyond Ghana, they've operated in the country for longer, and they've operated across different political spectrum. Meaning, say, a more experience, you know. Now, conflict of interest, yeah, they are Ghana for ya ni NTS here. Or the mama example back up, mama example. Unim say me, kwabna metie, say me ye juma engineers and planners in there. Yeah. Next engineers and planners, our contracts. Memphis, I'm head managing director. Now, engineers and planners who our contract with Kesben FM. Mm-hmm. Now, at the time, our engineers and planners were contract, now I'm managing director. You sign contract now, you contract there for 3 years. Within the 3 years, no, so me yire eko konya juma o Kesbena automatically, because Ghana found conflict of interest and say conflict of interest is not bad, it is how you manage it. Automatically, I have to go to engineers and planners and say, give me the conflict of interest forms. I mean, feel it. If we necro, essence me yire so na ye head of management or Kesben in T. Me try to was a minimum ubi or Kesben. And so at the time I need sign a contract and I now me yiri ni Kesben. Okay. But at that point in time, no, so you say my buyer conflicted. If I what the mechanism. Say my buyer conflicted. It is about how you manage it. Conflict of interest is not bad, but Ghanaians mostly we don't know how to manage it. So we because so na president ni ministry ho and the other no akaso their money near. So if you because the ministry published all the criteria, anybody who wants to know whether the criteria was weighted accurately, by law, you have the right to request the justification provided by the reviewers on why they rated engineers and planners the marks they have given them. That means it has gone through a fair process. That is why the competitive tendering was important. You go through competitive tendering. You say engineers and planners in the mining go fields. Or not in the experience, you come their manner and not dear Kameka Zakoju Adabraka, Canadian Kenya dear Bay Papa. Okay. Now go through any dear. Menewu any NDC NB before multi studio bit Mako Busa. Say Mumfa Maya in Kratano, Ahamu Reti or Musay, Moya no evidence or deba any say, the Aina has been a bit my day. Ashe. And to media margin money I think it has been a very fair process.
All right. Okay. So, someone stay with us now. Main call. Yeah. Sorry. Oradele Demo, who is the head of corporate communication when it comes to Minerals Commission. Not almost media true and true when it comes to a cost one on the side of almost issues in the working. And of course, what Sami we're raising very, very pertinent issues and critical issues concerning the conflict of interest and then the perceptions that are coming with it and all that. I mean, your take on some of these matters that has been raised. Yeah.
Some do one Sami de Kanakandi.
Yeah.
Medana says, in some kind, and Wama, a chief what he said. An independent minded person has been called to this program. The opinion here, and if he said, the tendering process was very fair and nobody was shortchanged. Over Ghana highway. You were brought for a woman baby to go away. Down my mind's here, August 1997. August 1997.
Okay.
And no to go do Ghana has to 2026. 29 years. Adia woman ya. And it's a woman see school ki 2AB. Esi ekure bi ase. Anase woman koko si light bi, street light bi, e we ekure bi ase. Ekuro no mfa so onya o gold one no. Owia o to gold no wia. Or the 90% ko ni kuro mu. Akoton eje ne sika dollars. Not the 10% eje Ghana. Over jere ko pe ye to Ghana gold wa ha. Gold face 90%. Not the 10% eje o man Ghana. You be a social responsibility towards the community. Corporate social responsibility towards the community.
The CSRs.
Good. Now, corporate social responsibility, na a whole mining company with to gold for Ghana has started 29 years. No, we see KVIP. I'm a crazy assay. Now, when a bank we buy, a bank we say, see, ye baby, ye see a tree and fees that type of thing. No, ye di bibi a share obroninsa no to gold, no di gold, no cotton na ye bre. Into any they started gold board. Into ye the maraba says, see, ye to gold no ha. Small scale man, want to be in fact gold room cotton to say first way no. So Toma gold board, a gold board, and whom for swaba, ye lay whom for swa, and the gold board yaba. One of the things I can say, set aside ya. Company be aware, oh, mine or has he. So, unkrata, semu, spire, you better say, a Juma edition will say, Ghana, how you first will be about one. So, when first one man, why baby Ghana for over to me, you want to say, Yemfama Ghana, need on ye. Offer engineers and planners is starting almost years, say, about bidding, you be a burden. And a 4 companies in a buy. 4 companies, somebody in Kata to move, and you open to be a yebi. And a Vortex Resource Mining Group. Bidders, engineers and planners, Hit Goldfields, and Mariposa Mining Services. These 4 companies in the bidding. Your first stage, and a committee, no, I formal committee, 7-member committee, a 5-member committee, and a 2-year co-opted executive. Is it co-opted members? Co-opted member 2.
People, yeah.
NEPA 2, no, I form as co-opted members, you know. And one. Somebody from Attorney General Department,
okay,
to give legal advice. Also a member, and I'm say legal advisor to the minister. Also one Mr. Richard Apenu, a member. The other marketing technical people from EPA and most of them from Minerals Commission. A Juma Muyeni, Tendre Mumbi, no Biamba PDB. It is our 4 companies in the bid the CD. My application to the first stage. The first stage is so be this anchor way to me back. What the bar and I will call the next stage. The end of the bar, you see proof of wholly owned Ghanaian registered company. So our company no our registered to person your mine no. You person Ghana for the mining gold no. You person the Bema Broni bio because gold field after mining for 29 years no. Say one more bread into one more strong crata the bro mine Ghana say gold no yet to 29 years na nya won fa so dodo ye ntumi ye ho adwuma bi ina mo de ma ban ina ban so aban so mo 1 year later no na say in some few 3 months later no ina mo san trauma aban bi o say nkrata na ye trauma mo say Damang mines ne ye mani bi o no mo san fa ma ye bi ina ban se da bi one na oba ye nche be ka kire say wo mpe mine bi o nti age ye pe Ghana ni a obetumi woni mi di obetumi aye ene ye di ama no and a process and start here. And you want more BD phone, you see a per company or your fully owned Ghanaian, beneficiaries are Ghanaians, directors are Ghanaian. And it's our companies here we are a valid tax clearance certificate. We have simple things like valid Senate clearance certificate, valid VAT clearance certificate, payment of application fee of 100,000, and then valid certificate of incorporation. These are the 4 things. Of us, our process get away. And a Mariposa company, Mariposa Mining Services, a drop out. They couldn't fulfill this thing, these small ones. Come on to me. Because I say one company no in a fully owned Ghanaian company.
Okay.
And our directors are foreigners. So they couldn't. Vortex also couldn't. So the 2 companies could not have engineers and planners and Hit Goldfields. Hit Goldfields already, I'm not managing Bogoso.
Okay.
I'm only the moment Lenkrata moment 2024 and I'm 2025.
Okay.
And to be already no was starting mining now no OG loans from company to man that company. Only a hundred is will be a for a day. Over. And to go through processes like two no criteria. You offer a baby. Over local content assessment. You know, this is the evaluation criteria.
Yeah.
Over local content. No.
Yeah.
Omoye assessment. Maybe person Max.
Yeah.
Max local content. Sorry. Local content assessment. Hit goal fields now 9.4 over 10.
Yeah.
And engineers and planners now 9.2.
Yeah.
Over compliance and safety, health, environment, and standards. Engineers and planners are 9.2.
Yeah.
And we are 6.2.
6.2, yeah.
And now over facilities, equipment, and materials and consumables. Engineers and planners now 9.8.
Yeah.
And I hit goal fields now 5.8. And so what's your capacity? One company is far ahead of the other. Yeah, weighing in a way, you know. Now I say I call the next stage. The next stage, you know, unya 80% criteria, unya 80%, and we move to the next stage.
Okay.
Until you do the first stage, you know, now hit goal phase 8 to me the 80%, you know. It means that you cannot proceed because the financial strength and other factors were weighing against it. And engineer planners, they banks me, you know, buy.
Okay.
Or the ABSA Bank and a Stanbic Bank.
ABSA and Stanbic.
ABSA Bank and Stanbic Bank. They buy say, some companies will me a minimum arrangement that they can raise. Between 500 and 600 million dollars for me to run my company. And the banks and everybody say yes, we have the finances to give them 500 to 600 million dollars. Mom, they are running on company. Maybe yes, so their criteria. They were way above the criteria of 500 million. It is a sad year. Now one day will be a assessment in the year. Now can't or no because I'm in 4. One more to talk. Last one we do or no. A day company they share them. Offer Damang mines my workers are over 2,000. Yeah, back. That is what I like about the whole thing. Engineers and planners said Samikai. They've been mining in so many African countries. And no almost say contract mining. One more machines back, no more to 2 to 2 in the amount. Now one way washing no baba.
Yeah.
Almost started 2002 under President Kufuor. Maybe can they be say Ibrahim no Gina ho nipa sabi yebeka say na ban boa no more Gina ni 9 super. President Kufuor ban.
Okay.
Bisam say me boa ka kire me. That was the time he started to Ojina Naso. Was starting the mining in 2002. Obi them say engineers and planners here Juma Uganda, Liberia, Ghana. To say they have been in the sector here in Ghana and over 22 years. They've been around.
Okay.
Helping and mining on contract mining for companies. It is a ne. That's what one hundred. That's also be Juma ne pe Ghana ni obetumi afa mine no why you to go do here. So cause sang. On the Sikari Bag or mine Ghana has it. And Rancho Obi Abenya Bibia. And if he said tendering committee in we and submit a report to my minister. And I mean a press conference on the 7th of April.
Okay.
I didn't crack out to just say tendering na ye say the ABA company say oh ye per company on be akwan we. Na company kojo dan kwa kobi. Aaron Kobi na de la Kobi. Ye we the company na say Aaron say Aaron na ne nimidie wo say dwuma betumi aye. E de ama Aaron. What for Maxi say Obinum say oh na conflict of interest.
Yes.
Samia can be where is the conflict of interest here? Conflict of interest and they say Aaron is a minister of state. There is company A. Aaron him say our percentage or shares was our company A nim. Ninia bema and Aaron the company de ma Aaron. Say Aaron the contract the man ni brother no and I say ni nua no and I say company no what shares wo mu no and because you have conflict of interest. Your interest is conflicting.
Okay.
The definition of conflict of interest is when someone personal interest clashes with their professional duties and potentially influencing a decision making. In this case, there is a tendering committee and will be tender and or bid and so EMP tenderer and what bid. The president did not call the members, the 5-member committee of the Minerals Commission say, Monfa contract in the they did an assessment, results, and I'm a assessment of the whole process. Result to a tendering committee, no, any. Enti nipa enum co-opted members mienu omo assessment bidding no akoso and omo say you share hit gold fields ahon den EMP and Vortex Maripoma ahon den no a company fee say obetumi aye adwuma no aye engineers and planners. In any case over your hand and say and am say Azuma Mines Company Limited azo Ibrahim call EMP call bank am say Eco Bank.
Yeah.
The almost account $100 million about 2 mines no what Mama was show capacity to do the job. The most interesting thing is so your MPP new, so your NDC new, so when you see kana so betuma ye juma no say Ghana ye japade any gold no. Enti ye dey japade ma obroni na otu na the 90% akọ no ama Ghana 10% no. Any ye nya Ghana ni otu gold no. Na ye nya ho mfa so. Anka me nuanom de wen and anka ye.
Okay.
That is the genesis of the whole matter.
Okay.
And you said we should have a strategy. Say, Aaron,
yes, of course. So I feel shall see from the Intino. So Aaron, Pachoma Mintio on the score, me your initial comments on some of these things. Yes. Some more background.
He explained the issues and left it to the right-thinking members of the society to judge. Now, the conflict of interest in Chirimono and CP. And then many other CP, and I'm going to prove same. Share Bible Kasimbi. Or say, my entrana choose woman. One away in yachu, me and Tinombo. Utinema a dear Bible chi, or kind and yum. Edununsia Ninchiche Moonline a copy menumna Psalm 26 verse 4 to 5. Okay, Casa and Semina. And I want us to understand it in a very good context and judge for ourselves. The Edikan, the new patriotic party as a political party is never against a Ghanaian taking over our minds. MPP osunu kukuruku amanyuku a me kofias yedumedom na o masoma me se me metena o manan mu no ade a ye ka kire me from asalam down me dia betena ne se omunye against Ghana ni say or take over your minds. If in any case me kura na wunyimi ni a the let them agina ha ka kire o say Ibrahim Mahama Ibrahim Mahama no na free amada pa aba kofidi ewu John Ajikum Kufuor. And that is settled. But what the assembly kokota and human union you the substantive matter and the procedural propriety. In as much as substantively no case no. Say you have the right procedure and you fatal assembly crowd on the principles of natural justice no. Utimi lusu ye de wokofi. Ye mra e established Kevin Taylor assembly by no. Ye Ramadu Tanko JSC ekan e wo case no. Enti substantively you might be right. But when na ye dey fa so de ama wo no e ya de a esmake say akwa akoda ne bibi e friend state capture a conflict of interest e boom. The kind many happening say ohwe the entire Damang processor no all my history of it. Damang for year adwuma ni na no more your friend is saying omo license ebewu April 18 2025. But who follow ye? Me follow April 18, 2025. And now, Ebra Ebabiwuno. In fact, in 2024, they wrote to the minister say, "I'm mine no Ebabiwu until they want to decommission." But what you say? You money my free ho. And na ye nuanum EMP for expressing interest. Na esa say ya mamra no kan article 257. Clause 6. Now, okay, article 268 now. A child say minerals Nanka say is vested in the president who is holding it in trust for and on behalf of the people. And now obey a mining agreement to be an so the parliament for parliamentary ratification. Okay. As saying in a say, no matter who is working, Goldfield's crown a percent EMP take over. EMP ni Goldfield in Komobia, he still needs the government to sign the agreement with him.
Okay.
with the company. What you say? And nuntina EMP for a bar. Your friend is saying Ghana buying 2024 and under Minister Bujinapo we issue be a friend no objection letter at the mom somewhere in March 2024. Because TSC say no objection letter no. As a trend say, ye kasi ye no any problem. Any omunkodi nkomo we are no aba. Ni ahwese ye be sign ni lease na ma. No objection letter does not mean say you sign lease agreement amount. What I say, only omunkodi nkomo. Omu agree on more price. You come back to us because the mines belongs to Ghana for ye ni be sign the amount. Even tender ya we. In zero, the minister must now go ahead and sign for them. Into tender is just a face leading to you getting the mines. And so no objection letter is not in any way a way say you grant to this. You see, could you come on the regulation say no objection letter no won't come for 1 good year.
Okay.
After 1 year and went to me we are I just apply for another no objection letter and as minister no a be increase it. Omo no objection letter in March 2024 team ye a be March 2025.
Okay.
Uje in 2024 be March 2025.
Okay.
No cross say March 2024 no moje yen na fe the gold fields na so ni EMP edi dwuma etimi transfer no the same 2024 December no was an truck cracker baba ho say me na me kan say me ko me ni obi di nkomo de ba renew me license mami.
That's what the law was saying.
Yes, so it became so critical. Say,
okay.
Yeah, mo be no objection letter. Only would nkomo aden na we renew ne licenses. So the question comes, and I buy and reject it. The rejection came when Minuanum Delanum it took over. Okay. Then the question is, only way didn't come. A few months now, so they should have gotten to a point. I don't want you to say EMP better take you over now. Why are they calling for a renewal of their lease? I feel they are buying some farm home, and I'm saying, hey, on farm home they say to me, they are sort of form. A be they will come hana mampeni Mahama aka say, yeah, gold fields for no enter assassin so and our minds them for 1 good year again and until 2023 yeah come one seminar. But you see over all this manner airqua the entire year raising a lot of issues. The matter of the tender senior tender ne call and then the EMP the year Ibrahim Mahama abra bobi a wabo man ne senior near mekono intini yeka say it's mass conflict of interest. Many opinions say okay article 284 of your constitution may become what you say. Article 284 of your constitution say a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interest conflicts or is likely to conflict with the performance of the functions of his office.
Okay.
Public officer, any minister, in any case, minister na mampeni you know. So the minister acts on the instructions of the president. Now mampeni a ye can ask him ye to abama oni you say we mampeni. Pursuant to article 68 of your constitution. Clause 5 or say the salary, allowances, facilities, pensions and gratuity referred to in clause 3 and clause 4 shall be exempt from tax. Just a mampeni ye betua ne ka ye be man allowance ye be man adododie bia ono kura de ontua to. Fisi ye hia mampeni se obeye niema bebraman. Sebe ye bone ho kanyina ye te ye na mampeni e fani nua Ibrahim Mahama jet and e blessing e de ko etukwan. The last time mampeni area jet na enini and am show. Okay baby am circle na the registration number of the private jet. The registration number is NX04EP. What you say?
Yeah.
A jet you registered in the US. So it's an international private jet. The way they say okay, that is it. Or South Korea, it could be another say.
No, explain here, ma'am. Say you register with
US. US international private jet. Meaning say a big Ghana hakrana. You what charges say they my international jets. And then I say for I'm coming to
even though he has bought it.
Yes, say okay. It is registered in your friend is saying US. What you say? So any Ghana registered. What no? So we register a car with Togo. It's an international car. What you say? Good. Many opinion. Mampeni echo. Mampeni echo South Korea. And I'm hearing so okay. So flight be could see obe or mind be more. Your charges are flight no etia. Into Minyabotre echo Korea Republic or more ITA. your friend no Aviation Charges Intelligence Center. And I'm a call download you on document. Minia, say jet is you and an aeroplane is you are. Minia say who follow? Ube to your landing. Ube to your landing. Ube to your lighting. Ube to your noise. Ube to your parking. A lot of charges. Now in fact, South Korea, unlike Ghana now, you charge per hour. Ghana first hour na the chow. Number of hours I would be to ya. But South Korea, the first 3 hours here the chow. But every 30 minutes you pay an amount. So the question is say, Mampenia Ghana for airborne hoka Article 68 clause 5 say, ma ontia tax no. Cosign say, Adena Ninia Ibrahim Mahama has taken it upon himself. Say onubetua sakana. Who follow? What is the interest of Ibrahim Mahama say? Ibrahim Mahama as a private citizen say, Ninia President Mahama etukwanya or the jet bemano and Minister of Government Communication. Ama Ghana for nyina ati say Mampeni Mahama e the jet ni tukwanya omutuafu wo pe. Nti question say sa landing, parking, lighting, noise crew na ebeko no baby a crew ni beda aduane on bedi sa katua ni nyina Ibrahim Mahama etua no. What is the interest in tia otua? Then it comes to the tender. Na minim say na tender na beba na binia minim say woni copy na pese ye an exercise nti me ba me print a copy the braille na bua me ne yenye sa exercise. I am telling you say the tender no any niema make ken nyina kire say it marks a clear conflict of interest because Raj explain the conflict of interest to me say three you were actual, potential and perceived, and in all four walls of it falls on it. Mampeninia and Ibrahim Mahama EMP Yenedia. Mampeni tu kwanya Ghana for born hoka enu kwan so tuaka preno. Ibrahim Mahama so be tuasa akadebia magana. And the question keeps on arising. Now pick the tender document. Number 5 page 9.
Page 9, right?
Minia.
Okay.
Page 9 for local content. Na kind dey wo mami. Page 9 am dey kire eyi maseke wo.
Page 7
9.
Okay.
Me pesa wo na obu a me mami say adwumade no.
Okay, so I've seen page 9.
Now, before my member preamble and we read it.
Okay.
Uko page 9 of your friend saying it talks about local content.
Yes, I've seen local content.
One thing is a Ghana media say minerals na wa no yin na idea. Ye kobedia we should be given a fair platform say Ghana media or sa capacity a obetima ye dwumadi no obeye. And the tender shouldn't be skewed in a way benefiting only few people. Now read page 9. Read the man.
Open some kind of local content on.
Yes,
okay.
Kind of first part on.
First part, ongoing engagement with host communities, traditional authorities, and also regional and national regulators.
See, omo di ashemu say answer na obe qualify near mama usa man. Say before say obe tender na kora no, you are already engaging the host communities. The Damang area hono. Who engage traditional authorities, who engage regional and national regulators. Finally, me kofia si edwentwi. Se me wo campaign and me work capacity. Na me nye adwuma was sa area where you don't think this is disqualifying me? And who is already working in that area?
No, again, my explanation. If they're talking about
when you are coming local content, you are coming with ongoing engagement with host communities. Who
is coming with this engagement?
You the company, no?
Tender.
You should be already engaging host communities.
Okay.
And as we speak, it is only EMP and a subcontractor or Juma or that. So it is a skilled tender for EMP.
No. If he's working a mining area, honomwa. It doesn't mean that he's not. He didn't go through this by engaging the communities and Ambwa.
Or say ongoing engagement with host communities.
Yes.
What he's saying is if you are a company and you are coming for this tender, you should already be having an ongoing engagement with them. And the question is, companies they put you forward. EMP is already a subcontractor there. So EMP has been given an undue advantage.
No, but how would you know that the rest of the three were not engaging? So on what it means is that the thing is not saying necessarily that unless we juma
what's the ongoing engagement?
Yes, ongoing engagement,
with those communities.
Yes.
And how do you define ongoing engagement?
So ongoing engagement.
It is apparent on the face to say it is only EMP who is already engaged in activities in the host community. So he mentioned.
So already they are engaged in the mining area.
Of course, in the host communities.
Is it not two different things by saying he's hosting, he's engaging the traditional authority because he doesn't own the mining. He was only working there as a sub.
If you work there,
yes,
it is an undeniable fact that even as a subcontractor, you deal with the traditional authorities. The first one I must deal with,
when I'm not the owner of
the
owner of the mine.
You are taking your machines over there.
Yes.
You not deal with the traditional authorities. I said, men are okay. Maybe they let them. They do.
Just 2 minutes. Which one are you talking about? The local content. We'll deal with it. You come to it. I've just marked it.
You see, one thing
it's just here.
Mining engagement in this country will be personal mines. It shouldn't necessarily restricting the person to similar mining activities. No. Why? Minerals say what Ghana in Nano. Ghana for there. And the Ashanti Mahama said, what you say? Page 5 na mention what dey be. Ye dey say man pay holding in trust for the people of Ghana. Inti me fa say yera papa we fa say yera Brian Champion.
Yes, Brian.
Fa say our capacity to my mining here. Point 5 says proven experience in similar mining operations will disqualify him even though I Ghanaian. And you tell me that this is not skilled to favor some people.
You're talking about the technical capacity. It says proven experience in similar mining operations.
So listen. Let's even explain that first line. Proven experience in similar mining operations.
Yes.
I can be into mining business, but I've not done this before. But I have the capacity to do it. Your explanation over here disqualifies me. Even when me a Ghanaian, wholly owned Ghanaian company who can do this business. Conflict of interest now it is so apparent. I've given you instances. Ibrahim Mahama has taken it upon himself to be doing things the state should do. To there be a conflict of interest and nobody baby. Brian Champion know what capacity and the company, the hotel, as soon the whole West Africa, not all pay hotels at all. I declare the interest in it. You compare, would it be the same standard that they use in tendering? But it is two different things. I'm talking about tendering. Other Brian Champion,
tendering.
No,
it was not a tendering process. It was given to him to buy.
Oh, how?
It didn't go to. There was no tendering process. How do you do this? Mention any company that went to contending with firm.
I've seen. You're talking about proven experience in similar mining operations, availability of qualified personnel and equipment, demonstrates seamless transition from the current to new operator.
So
available equipment, workforce, etc.
It's even
and demonstrated knowledge of all body and capacity to increase life of mind.
Pause here. Also demonstrate seamless transition from current to new operator. Who does this best fit? When there is a subcontractor already on the field. Let's listen to him.
The line dealing with the main cost sector, because again, the issue of the conflict.
It is clear and apparent.
The definition you gave.
As part of the requirements, we are bidder. You see, local contents, ongoing engagement. Wow, babe top minds, you know. A juma ba kwa eda sha wonsan se woni ahemfo ekuro mine no emrantie mabawa ending susan yes
in 7 days
but
who be a tender way for 7 good
enya abutre enya mama ncha
that's the Ghana po nyina ye
enya mama
mumu
every wrong
7 days
tia sia mama nchira mama tia sia
excuse us
enya mama ncha sia and you are supposed to do an engagement for me to be fi minerals commission ne ye kobugo so elembele takwa community engagement a day we come back home They are not kiki. We do community engagement with the community relations department headed by the awareness of Deba. Now him for Nina Babishia. Yes, we are community Deba. Now him for need selected people Babishia. One more bar. Now there are two of them say, yeah, express interest, a talk company. Your talk company, yeah, is Simasa, so good near Mudia. And you my baye, and your mamu, ebini. That is the community engagement we are talking about in local content.
Okay.
Said yeah, well into baye. Now wait, or say already because Ibrahim is in my name, you know, it favors Ibrahim. His goldfields. Hey, he's already in that. His goldfields. He's already in that. That means on time you say I said no, you mom.
In the true because the minister for Honan saying I could catch it so on cost Juma.
I'm talking about this now. This is a non-process.
What would you say? Oh, you'll be a Juma.
My company, no. Then on stockpiling. Then we almost stockpiling. Oh, they are not there as state. No, T. Mamika
you have to correct that.
Mamika we are very intelligent person, please. Aaron. Assemble Kuso say Aaron who say a mining community must have the capacity to do things. You want to take a mining company that you need $700 million, $600 million. Yes, it has given an advantage to EMB. His goldfields, they are based in Bogos. Bogos anyway, the same enclave. His goldfields, that is what the goldfields now. More operating his goldfields, baby, more operating say Siano. They are already operating Bogos mines, and to only Ibrahim who has an advantage in the community engagement. But now community engagement meeting crime. And I'm person with top mines be Bogos, and I say top all Damang Takwa. Takwa no. Now you see, kojo young community one young community engagement with the chiefs. Me say what the elembele, and see they have given you an advantage. Who will see this? And why is everyone seeing this? So obiti baby nti. Uko shia ahemfo no a. Won sem a wode to woman nim. Say na nanu wey. Messi palace foforo amamo. Mo kwan na meya amamo. Messi hospital amamo. Messi school amamo. Oni ahemfo no nkasam wo makoma nto mo yem sese de adwuma no ma wo a. Ombenya wo mfa so. Yanko ba ko no obekan no. Oka ba ko bi ewo he. Technical capacity.
Yes.
Of away mining sector anya tomatoes yen ton tomatoes wo. Anya anybody now. It's not anybody who can work in the mining sector. It is a specialized area. And the procedure they say proven experience in similar mining experience. So when you mine your juma da, member, what's your conflict of interest? Look at what he's saying. Yes, so we need mining experience. Member who cry. Everyone say a conflict of interest. Is this a conflict of interest? What cost school need there? We need there for fair way. What say?
You don't do that.
Then
don't do that. And yes, I draw the linkage. You should draw the proper linkage.
What is the proper linkage with it?
I said say.
Yes.
The American
technical capacity.
The American say. Now say ni who say. Mampeni using in a flight at O2ska. Any way 7 days a pay any day by 10 days and attend the mono. Had the actual the Miami de buy in Poe. Also demonstrate seamless transition from current to new operator. And who does this bet fit in this when EMP is already in Damang? When a fit no? And EMP. She contract bet no sin abrabo we yen what ha trema no down rest can oforiata so can oforiata data bank and a worker capacity asem.
You see, we are not discussing
some more.
We are not discussing. Say, Aaron conflict of interest. You want man penyinia or didn't near minister or Ghana. Ninia or no Ninia moja bako and nabako. You want man penyinia or another near finance minister. And now you can say, Sir finance minister with Johnny. Say, Ombra Neomba account for what he did with Johnny. And then, says right now, Aaron is sitting here talking about conflict of interest. Because you be a bid. And now, Obi, what capacity? Say, you say money where you pay a ton. Me were interest wom. Me knew almost started discussion 2023 September. MPP are buying a signing krata we demand. Me say, many are buying MPP are buying na Akufo-Addo cabinet. And they didn't krata we the more Abuja upon a sign. Say Ibrahim EMP. Omo ye they are omo kwa ne Obuasi go face for encoding common never go way more. And omo din common way. And na buying for fraba na open tender. Oh, woman did that. And you studying the process of tendering no under the MPP administration. Wabre omo no objection signed by Abuja Napo. Dia na wo kike. Mo na mo chise nkrata de ma Abuja Napo any Abuja Napo na sign. Na Akufo-Addo cabinet. He Abuja Napo ba bontina ba be kasa se okay. Or the same way called cabinet. Na Akufo-Addo na ye chairman of the cabinet that evening. Ama oji tu mu say ye pese di company ni ma Ghana ni na say Ibrahim wa hondi na so woni sika dia ye mfa ma no wo na mo start eni ye dia krata mo choro ye ni eni ye di mining company na ma ni pakono ana say you be tendering eni wa kobie eni wa wi ni afa wo si bue wo do say go ti say bue papa no ye ma na kwanya say oni company ni nkasa ni mfa mining ni ma no ade nti na mo dia ma no esan say owo play na odi amani kojo owo play na odi amani nua say me nua be ma me bon ho ban ana say o man Ghana we hiem ye plane akakodi France me de me dia me wo no me dia ma wo se fatu kwan MPP for to me ya press conference say adenti no mampanyi bi aba na ni nua do ni nua no de ni plane car man say me car ni use
but is it also not something dim faith
EMP almost security officers company.
Security officers to take over the company. Obviously, I'm sure they
will have.
Any, so was it playing or doing?
Yes.
Catching or not state security, a bomb and penny home by no one traffic in EMP security.
No, that is, I know. One of the things only.
What would you make? How would you make this argument?
I was going to ask you.
Security for one who more mining sector. Then training warm like soldiers in Ghana. Aaron,
mentioned what the Constitution says about a public officer and what the president deemed fit, says here, man. Do you still don't see any conflict of interest there? Where you have your brother paying for these expenses for the state.
Thank you. I am Bombompo. I said, we can't ferry. So we MPP, we over MPP for no ferry, the Rubianca. MPP need your ferry, with conflict of interest because see, time wa MPP for Tron Krata with the ma Ibrahim, EMP, not the brother will position. Now MPP for him say, Papa no ye didn't Krata with man, Nimiani or man paying your mama. There's so much wrong Krata with the man. What is your conflict of interest here?
Okay. So I'm sure you followed all the discussions. Now, my issue that I'll start with you is from Aaron Ehonom, where he was talking about your definition of conflict of interest and where he was coming from. Do you think it's a fair deal, it's a fair explanation after listening to Aaron on the conflict of interest angle? No?
Could you? Me Aaron, no. I think that Aaron was mixing the constitutional requirement for conflict of interest, the definition of conflict of interest. What I just want to say, but just what I just want to say is say, me paucho Aaron said something right. Conflict of interest, me paucho enye boni, me di kan kasemwe, me paucho me chiremu yamo munyina matiasi. Ye kase conflict of interest. And it says, any Aaron can pepe no. You have a public duty as Kojo Oyedmo Kesben.
Yeah.
And your duty is to ensure you engage your viewers. And then you have a private interest. Now MPP no say your private interest no. There is no way your public duty will outweigh your private interest. Ebini example nie. Se me ko TI mass kumase. Na me ye headmaster o TI mass. Na me ba epe school we school. Na me headmaster. Na ma kwaka tell me yire say me headmaster na me public duty ni say o sa akora ni twantumi mfa no mpa cho ko jo ha de na me yire be ka kire me. Obeka say wo man boyefo na sebi unnim nyansa. At that point, my private interest is always going to outweigh my public duty. And you yes, why I conflicted. Yemfa be been to ho. Na ye mo say e be manage this idea no. Say na e be manage no. And no name say them the answer na ma error no. Your management ni say me headmaster wa masa. Na say me baba apply to school na. Me ba ho nsem nyina minti na mo bi. In fact, we have something we call 5 R's. One, I need to record say applications here me baka hu. Secondly, I need to record that one. Third, I need to be there and for them to say, it's okay. So what you have to recuse yourself from any potential processes that involve the review of your child's exams results. In some parts, you probably be removed. You remove yourself from the entire process. In some scenarios, national lotteries assembly by you completely shift the responsibility from an agency you are head of to another agency where you don't have any influence over. Example, Edema, Aaron, it solves it. The time a buying Ghana buying yes or buying EMP no, none in your president in Poo.
Okay.
And it's all because I buying by any president into a ham picket. Niniana. It doesn't bode well when it comes to conflict of interest. In conflict of interest, as I have said, no, the president, although is holding this in trust for the people of Ghana, and yes, the president appoints the minister in charge of lands and natural resource, but it doesn't mean the entire country. There cannot be people who would sit on this committee that has to be influenced automatically by the president. And yes, and ka strictly there, and then was here the entire process if Ghana and some year to come Liberia say a president in near you and to murmur any apply and why and a bit to me abe winning abe mine. In that case, you are saying you don't want the president to influence anything. And the HN say, yes, start engage EMP say, you namuna namu mine ma da mine must stockpile or monomana go. Ye huni say mo ye potential. Satem na aban we kuran unyama power. And it is very difficult. But senior Aaron Saka, it doesn't stop the perceived conflict of interest. And the nipa dream. And I very clear. It's say EMP una a president in Niano. Entino. Enipa bia o twam bia beka se ene ade o hwa or tam de man. Enti me ade na ye me de ene said the minister declared say hwebe ade we die ebeko competitive tendering. Na babia Aaron Saka Aaron can sembi, which I also think maybe that's not what it meant. Say or say you must have engaged community. And then I think say Edema and there was another one or say whether you have done this before and now bisa.
Yes,
I think the criteria
that's the local content, ongoing engagement with host community, traditional authorities, regional and then national regulators. That was the page 9 of the tender. And then the other one has to do with the technical capacity, where he was saying it's a proven experience in similar mining operations. So those were the definitions we were trying to give to these two areas in terms of the local content and the technical capacity.
It doesn't mean it is skewed to one side. In as much as one person may have advantage over other, it doesn't mean it is skewed. Because number one, say what the Japadia sumbu say ma ubia. The reason we are public tender and say upo bia obede or what that level of experience or bar, then I can't first no. Or because I'm now learning on the job. My part anything your job a friend experience jobs, your entry jobs, your middle jobs. Entry jobs, we don't care about the experience, we care about your academic essentials, credentials, sorry.
we care about how good you were, how you've managed something that you've faced in school. But experience job, you need to find or starter. And you are floating this. Is there any Ghana company for Frubi? And you will be where interest. Oh, we mono. For one so application yeday. Ebra. Very, very important. And it's our process now. Minister decided so family dear. And similar experience and say similar in the grounds. Because heat go fields and so and never manage bogus Prestia gold mines. And a similar experience. So no so mine that which make us so engineers I we are means to my way. Means my way in fear saying a menya womb. And in battle what the mechanic say very clear. I think the conflict of interest in there is neither here nor there, given that the starting point of this particular conversation with engineers and planners even preceded the elections and also the coming of the current president. Aside all things, this particular process, though I say may have been very fair, it doesn't end here. And I'm sounding this to Adam and also the entire team of Minerals Commission and also maybe the ministry. Say the engineers and planners cast will bet my Ibiano. I was here starting monitor, yes, civil society, they monitor.
Okay.
So also we obey me away, and anything a Jumanamano, we need to monitor and ensure, say, oh, yeah. Now, with me, I'm sure, saying I did a local content study in the mining sector, and I had to listen to Zen, the Mohun is Zen oil, or started as a mining supply. And it was not easy because Ghana no yen trustee and near locals. Say engineers and planners to me here and me who say, hey, say Ghana for Krabic man managing mines. Because you mean I'm catching one way in the next few years, 10 years ahead of us, we will be pushing more Ghanaian mining companies into the system to manage this as well. So this should be one of our roller skate. Obitia so I can say, me de me who to as affordable. Actually, Obia say, I have the capacity to manage a mine. This time, it is not going to be just a contract miner. It is going to be everything. Maintenance, safety, responsibility, dealing with regulators, dealing with community members, engaging people around everything. And it is not an easy task. And it's what me, which I believe he can do. Utimiya, a better say, na se Ghana for who say dear, any a vortex for ho, any a maripoma for ho, any all other mining companies or mobanos, mummy and try say, ye bet me day, a push you mudu mobrum, no much my day, aka, and none of them kayan. Se Ghana ni Brunini and Sika no qua what the pop. Se Sebi, Ibrahim Mahama drew South Africa na baby, I enquire say no, a Ghana hand or Virginity, and Tunisika no, we expect on us will be Sika no kruma. And that is the difference between these foreign capital flights and monies that stay inside as well.
Okay, all right. Madam, still stay with me. Major conclusion on some of the issues, but let me read some of the text messages, especially on Facebook. Now, if you remember, Aaron, because then the conflict of interest definition, Ras Bequeen Achechimia. Now, Honorable Edikem on Facebook is saying, please ask Adam for me which graphic paper or media advertise the so-called tender or also Nadia or the Bisa.
It was in the graphic.
It was okay, also graphic. And by please, I'm in Takwa and I do travel to Damang mines too. They are the major mining contractor for both Damang and Takwa mines, Goldfields to be precise. So there is no doubt that blah 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 blah. Okay, I have procurement supply chain and pursuing CIP accredited program, blah blah blah, and all that. I mean, and also on Facebook. Now, some of the text messages are here. Mr. Host, you have to stop the MPP man. Why? Because Ghana should pay all expenses confronting President Mahama traveling. What is wrong with it? Ghana talk too much. Must give us a break? I am not. I don't belong to any political party. Lexus from Takwa and anyway by. Then this one says that all those companies who have the experience like Akonta Mining didn't tender because when they saw EMP he will win. And into more encore. Now this one says, "Good evening, Mr. Host. I'm from Ahafuhidium. Could you imagine that EMP does not pay less than 10,000 a month? It's very good for the youth in the Damang community because EMP will employ more workers from the community." And this one says, "Amandi Owusu from Pong. Please ask the MPP man for me what is wrong for me paying my brother traveling expenses. He should read one law that speaks against it for me. My brother cannot use my car to travel to anywhere he like with his friends. Nobody can stop me. It is my money and my own property." And then this one says that Kwame Acidity from Ahafu, he says, "Good evening, Mr. Host. Fact is fact. The approved for acquisition for Damang mine by EMP was granted by previous government on 12 March 2024. Why are they making empty noise on airwaves minority? Special greetings, Honorable Alhaji Ishak Dauda MD for Pristia Sankofa Gold Mines." Honestly, but then Teacher Bonti also comes in to say that, "Good evening, Mr. Kojo Prekodankwa. Is this you call reset agenda? Hey, Ghana, big ups to my lovely one, Millicent. Boss, please, I need your contact. Okay, Bonte, I'll give it to you pretty soon. And it's in the man called BBA. Now, good evening, Mr. Host. Engineers and planners are very good in mining, so let all put politics aside. Already, EMP is mining in Cardinal Boliga mines. EMP can do the job. I am Bernard from Achim. And this one says, "Good evening. This is state capture era. I am surprised the foreign minister is still at post. He promised us that he will be part of any government that does state capture. OPK Akrokari and the way by." And this one says, "Hello, and I love the program today. The mission let me know that 20 have capacity to help camera. Did you give?" Okay, I'm not getting it down there. It says that master planner. Master planner, policy analyst Kentampo. When Brian Echampon, one of the most experienced hotel managers or owner in Africa, wanted to buy shares from the Senate Hotel that was running at a loss, Dela Edem and his NDC made us understand that it was a state capture. Today, Ibrahim, after influencing his brother with his private jet, he has secured a mining company and the same Dela Edem and his NDC are talking about building Ghanaian businessmen. Konkonsafo master planner junior policy analyst and a day way back.
Now, do you show master planner?
Master planner,
master planner.
Yes, I mean to enough.
Aaron Zuka, a Senate idea. Say BA, Senate for opinion tender. And now a minister, no a call minister Dembo, for example. Minister Auto Hotel.
Minister Auto Hotel.
Then Auto Senate Hotels.
Brian
Champo.
Yeah.
And
Dr.
Dr. Brian Champo call ye and not submitting the bid. No go through process. It's a different story.
Okay.
We only see what wanting. And no one can buy back and say he has the capacity to manage the place. But there was no tendering process. What for the yaki?
That's how you tender tender.
They are yaki. Caller, or branch be fresh send me. On the 12th of March 2024, 12 March, not December, 12 March 2024. No man paying an Akufado cabinet is here. What we call ya someone we discuss our cabinet. And he said, gold fields, if we say, woman person about your mind in Ibiu. And see Ibrahim saw better company. Young farmer, no, and I say, Famano, and only call discussing our cabinet according to Abujinapo. You're discussing we. O man paying na Akufo Addo catch Abuja na pose kona koye nkrata de mano and obaba prepared letter with the man say ofa ye ni ye ntimi nsiw kwan bia wo beko be ya obato bia no kona koto problem bi wo ho a aban be ka de wo momo de nkrata ma papa no so onkoto eduma onkoto wa bra na ne papa ye flag bearer or contest ba omia munim sa man ka ho hwe say ye conflict of interest. Afe will go through na so akwakoto ade na wi a o say your conflict of interest dey bra sameka say manage no pa or a simple explanation of conflict of interest. Or say Samuel Bequin. Sami?
Yes, Samuel Bequin.
Sami say?
We know.
I would love to meet him. He's a very intelligent man. See,
so we appear with Janka when him
Sami Bequin say, young fan say we a headmaster of Achimota. We a headmaster of Achimota Secondary School.
Yes.
We buy aggregate 10. And now, we for aggregate 10 for. And now, we yere de oba say, "Family ba no na uncle school Achimota." O si there be me fan no ye beka say a conflict of interest.
Sure.
Gye de be see, o yere be jawo. Asemu a be Sami Beku bisa ye nani. Di o ka say conflict of interest na nya boni. De ye boni ni say akwala bi nya 9 ana akwala bi nya grade 7. So far akwala na wo nya grade 7 no. One fa no. E na wo ko fa oba no wo nya grade 10. That is conflict of interest. Your interest here is this. Nobody nya 10. And na me ba nya 7. And the way me ba no di 7 no go fa akwala ho nya aggregate 10 oba no. See o interest wa is conflict with mine. Me ba no nya interest one fa na conflict of interest. Enti wo Sami analyze it that in simple to educate error. And that's it. To bring awareness to error say who ka conflict of interest. Boni ni say woni mi say we nye na wodi obi hye hore nye boni but
okay oba be chechem
say oba nkrata me dey fi say
obi be say question
me fi say maybe aye
obi be say dalai dem say please ask Adam while his position have been the same if Damang mines was given to President Akufo-Addo's brother
Gabi or say
will your position now be the same if the same Damang was given to President Akufo-Addo's brother?
Oh yes, why not? Because enterprise insurance. Enterprise insurance.
Hey, there are videos I
enterprise insurance in Kenokufurata dia. Kenokufurata dia. Time of finance minister. All state insurance normally you call enterprise insurance. Nobody said anything. We went through the process.
Nobody said anything.
I went through the process. I didn't see what you have to say.
Okay.
But we
Aaron and Pato.
It is a the same thing.
Responded to Enema too.
Enema, okay.
Member conflict of interest.
Okay.
The Eddie can a letter or train. Eddie can actually.
Yeah.
No objection letter. Entry say yes, say Yama Liso.
Anya kufa na joy.
To boase. Nyame Beka as a minister Samuel Bujina upon a I'm not disputing that. Even tender we recommendation or the minister. So the minister, even after this tender, may decide another process and decide not to sign for the lease. So that is clear. So no objection letter is in no form say Yama lease. Yenya is Antron say no na starting engagement one. Starting we gave that, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean say Yama your friend is a lease. Make a conflict of interest as some wa hrem say shrajimpo actually conflict of interest mu miensa actual.
Yes,
potential and a perceived.
Yeah.
Papaya Samuel Bequin church or did you say there is a perceived one? Mentra as a conflict of interest, no. When you declare the conflict of interest and we register that conflict of interest, you can proceed. Mampeninia etia eka ese state in a bono. You have no concern. One am where there. We nyachum. If you agree, say that thing happened and the Akufo-Addo, can't your friend is saying enterprise is seman for kind. Meaning, it has become a patent of the NDC say, and near more preaching against in opposition. Meaning, Omaba any different thing. This state capture is one example. Otieka say Akufo-Addo.
Which one state capture?
Say, Mampeni Feni Niajet, all these charges, and in 7 good days. Including holidays.
What's a good day?
You're done it.
7 days.
Your friend is saying this kind of mind to him. You are telling me say
it won't appreciate the tender. I mean,
7 days for mine.
Is it not possible?
7 days for such a mine. Now when you to say oh
you present your document.
Letters of guarantee letters of guarantee crash should say what capacity. Do you know the number of days it takes? Put that even aside. Now, watena ha aka nsɛm ne mampani Akufo-Addo ɛna ɔde ne nia hyɛ aban mu te sɛ deɛ ɔmo ba aban mu no kura no ngombe change family tree entertainment na me de aba ha no family tree entertainment Mahama
hey entertainment say your body
we hear ba ha say me obo de say me boss enye Mahama enye na offer say Joyce Bawa enye Joyce Bawa mia ena de John Sharif Bawa oye your friend say MD was state house enye Alhaji Gudu Mokhtar enye Joyce Bawa kunu na wo hoyi enye Joyce Bawa mia cloud oye board chairman Ghana Standard Authority oh Brazil kona ko he oye board chairman Joyce Bawa krona Clara Bawa ata owo your friend say GIPSSS uko MD GMPC Explocua ye was Samuel Atta Joyce Bawa Krona ene ne Samuel Atta yes Samuel Atta Cantinino why not na ye to Samuel Atta is central register na what was family and friends ene go bas ntale mu nyina e sha ban mu de mu kan ye e ka kire Ghana for the two omutrim no o kan ye da bia da de o ka me aba o se menu o ga de ya o kan na ban mu no discussion you have to change your way from it the principle we yes our for we nyatrum we yes our nyatrum you cannot show this over you have only read
show just a line
it's a no objection letter
so let's
I'm not denying that I'm showing that it's not a list idea you don't do that
which one is
request letter here president there's no objection you see the commission it is normal contact minerals commission the commission indicates that your the commission indicates that your company has gained considerable experience in mining and is currently engaged in contract mining for Abosu Goldfields Limited, Damang Goldfields Mine. Based on the representation in your letter, on the recommendation, we give you no objection. Nana Akufo-Addo, the minister said, all right. Ibrahim,
please. No objection letter is no grant of lease. No grant of lease.
We just have some few minutes to go. 2-3 minutes now. If you running up, Mami, on this matter, I remember studio now. I'm running up and then Fetch Media see. Sami Oteminka, let me hear from you on your run up to this particular matter.
Yes, sir. I'm send you can. Say, a recommendation at the common minister. Yen civil society, dear, the airpine when he say, Minister. A person, so your Shesek, Sagana, Nianya, because it was always Ghanaian company. I was here, Shesek, on also the same level of accountability demands and transparency demands. Yet, ever more no so whether foreigner or Ghana.
Okay.
In order for them to improve. And to be BRA, also bet me a normal watch or war. You make sure say Abambe Buana one, but yet you make sure say he does it. Particularly, our very much interest is within the communities.
Okay.
Certainly, Adam Kayano, communities benefit. Yana ewo form kakra. Into those community engagement has to be quite strengthened.
Okay.
Wherever it was left. The third one is taxes to be paid. I don't know what model the government will have with them, whether it will be the normal mining lease we have with all the other foreign companies. If it is the same, there are then taxes to be paid. And yes, sir, or yet Ghana Ninti, yes, you were Ghana Ninti, yeah, man, into the right taxes. If we want to promote the Ghanaian, we should then do a policy and probably a law to say that maybe because we're Ghana Ninti, the taxes will be to any side, yes, we will say any problem. But we will continue to demand for transparency, accountability to the people of Ghana. And that is what the bane of what we are interested in.
Okay, Sami, where the now call the back quick one, BB drop which is here has to do with the 10% is it royalties that Ghana the interest now Ghana won. When it comes to this, would it change or it will still be the same?
Sir, I know the I don't know a woman, Yensi Samran, unto see a better Samran, that's what it will be, and all law him.
Okay.
That's exactly what it will be. Name Adia, this particular minister, why ya? Then said, what change the royalties regime of the gold sector? I am a sliding scale. And you are winning, they say gold price, and then 4,700 and there. And they say in the day, actually say royalties you been a bro 5%, no. I think sending numbers 8%. Once a better 3,000 a corner no.
Okay.
And the number 8%. In Tianuna, actually say royalty cost ra. You been surprise cost ra. You been more royalties. Now you see you may meet my studia. So finance minister si car a royalties and first na come from no. What tamak to host a nubi and or they be Kumasi Accra Expressway.
Okay, very well.
And a song for today being a free good moon. A been a be a yakan.
Okay, very well. But as the Center for Air Extractive and Development, Ura Samuel or say Bequin, and then no 18 come on Zoom. No, my memory Hanafi right now, Adam. In just 2 minutes, just wrap up for me now. Ura Aaron so and funny the Antosin Yanko.
I would say, like I say, one dinner I will to me a mining a Jumano. One more value on myself because I brought from dear so from 19 something I'm starting so much too good. No money if you want. If I say you took coin as a me call Takwa Damang Bogoso, let's say Takwania. Hey, one of the cra me who me chili dear. Let me feel say my dream fee say the finest community. Me call it was Obasi.
Okay.
If I say Obasi now, mean to me but a quine be wafa. Obasi Krumpana so quine nim futura. Of a numerous if you hotel be Jina quine. They are baba day number. Now, inti go do you two from 1915, 1920. Be seen ne abrofu ne to the call. Womo kwanye wo mfuto kwan wo boase woti di no a
madepa bi nso wo ho
oh woti di obere ukọ ekuro bi te se Akosombo.
Okay.
Ukọ Akosombo because of the Akosombo dam of a wo hwe omu road na so wo hwe kwan Akosombo to say
wura Akosombo town ni man ka
Charlie di Akosombo dam keke o ho na wo hwe se dem fa so a ekuro no nya omo ekuro mo say light kura mo ntua light bill according to what I hear but oboase gold and wo mu tu yesu se wo ko oboase na se wo hwe ekwan ekuro no se de atie ura be ho
Okay.
The American say you betumi a man pay na dwoma na de odi aba ne say na adwempa odi aba ne say you betumi a yama Ghana from 100 sika wo mu nsem wo mu ngi gold mines no mu ntu ne yenye gold no wa na yanka say nkoton ne yefa sika mbra ne fa nya onsiesie yo mine they say the South Africa for aye no a
okay
okro yefa
wa ko da mind da bugoso
ma ko da mind
no kwan net say
da mind say time roads ni ya akra ba na nko time on the
corner and quine sheda nyege
me hope too much
Ibrahim le tuo Ibrahim le tuo
okay
I
just a minute or two yes
mini abu ebeni
yes sir
yema ye you enye you
okay
na ye baby enye baby
okay
say no a okaseti at state capture enye brofo a oba beka poto hwie gumbia ode ba beka na ba be dada Ghana fo ye Ghana ni ye ne ato ya aba ene ye ye mampani ene ye de ahye ya mamre mu say ma ontua tax mpo ye be bone ho kanyina wo de wote ba bi say oyemi enti me bon ho ka na wi ya yakruche nanso pe ya tamai kakraka wi ama wo se kodidim ngofo ntra fie ne communion ye da o ma se 2028 Ghana for say Dr. Baomia no nsuo entwe ope insha Allah Dr. Baomia be banyankopon enka nyina ho.